Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing y'all this massive 8-inch Apple CarPlay / Android Auto unit that I installed in my BMW, and it absolutely has been a game changer in the day-to-day of driving this car. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into today's video and show y'all this sick Apple CarPlay unit. So as you guys can see here, smack in the middle of my dashboard is this beautiful 8.8-inch touchscreen Apple CarPlay / Android Auto unit, and it really looks like an OEM unit. There's a link down below for this product telling you guys where I got it. I'm gonna go ahead and power this thing on and really show you the capabilities and everything it does. So first off, I'm gonna pop my key in the ignition and we're gonna hit the power button. And now you guys will see there is a custom boot screen on here. Usually it says BMW connected drive, just like the factory one, but I changed it for the BMW roundel. And now you guys can see right off the bat, we are greeted with the original car, which is gonna bring us just basically to a black BMW menu. But there is actually two software options for this device. I have the software option that basically all I can use is the CarPlay. I can't go into original car and actually go through all the apps and all the really in-depth stuff. And then here we have Bluetooth / wireless CarPlay, and then we have our USB CarPlay off to the side. And it is amazing that you're able to install Bluetooth CarPlay in a car from 2007, 2008, etc. I think that is so sick. That is not only wired in connection, they give you Bluetooth as well. Off to the side as well, we can go to music and basically download music onto an SD card and play it through here, but I don't have any on here. Same thing for videos. You can stream videos that you have saved onto an SD card or a USB stick. For those of y'all out there who don't have Apple CarPlay and you have Android Auto, obviously we have the setup, and the setup is what's gonna entail language you want it in. You can go through your different sound settings, adjust your media volume for when you receive calls, etc. We have our EQ. The amazing thing about this EQ is this combined with the stock equalizer. I know I kind of need a new display here, but the stock equalizer is very, very simple. I mean, you really can only adjust bass and treble on this sound system. And through here, you can fine tune the treble, bass, and alto. So even though I have like my bass here at +4 and my treble at +4, I was able to fine tune it through the settings in the actual touchscreen. You can see I have my bass at -10 because installing this overloaded the entire system with a bunch of bass. My car was knocking, so I had to turn down the bass. But these settings here influence the sound system in a different way than just like the stock head unit does. I don't know how to put it into words, but +4 on here is a lot different than +4 on the touchscreen unit. And you really just have to play some music and dial in your audio. But for you bass heads out there where this really just isn't enough, you can go in here and, you know, crank it up as much as you want. Same thing for treble. So that's pretty neat. The rest of this we can't really access. We have system settings. So if we go here in camera, you're basically gonna select what you have done to the car. So I only have a rear camera. I don't have these other two options. Yeah, and then you can go to backlight and crank up the brightness on this thing. I already have it maxed out. Here in the middle, we have an option called factory settings. And if you acquire this code through the company, you can basically fine tune a bunch of different things. That right there is how I was able to change the boot screen up to that BMW roundel. And guys, I just want y'all to really put it in retrospect. That is so neat. On top of having a CarPlay unit, you now have Bluetooth CarPlay and Android Auto. So that is a huge, huge, huge thumbs up for me. Sweet. So the first thing I'm gonna go ahead and show you is the USB CarPlay. So let's go ahead and hook up my iPhone so I can go ahead and run through CarPlay with y'all. Here I have my iPhone 14 Pro Max. That is a wallpaper picture that I took. I'll attach that down below. And that is my podcast on Spotify. Link for both of these down below. Sweet guys, so to show you the connectivity to this CarPlay unit, we're basically gonna go in and get my phone, and we're basically gonna get that CarPlay cable and plug it up. Bam, just like that. And as you guys can see, the unit will automatically connect. You don't actually have to click the CarPlay option. And I definitely think that is a very, very great feature, because as soon as you get in the car, you can plug it up, your phone will start charging, and on top of that, the unit will just fire right up. And look at that. This is the home screen, guys. I mean, it is full Apple CarPlay. So here up top, we have our Google Maps or Apple Maps, whatever you use more. So I use Google Maps more. I've just had better luck with it. I've had bad luck with Apple Maps. A lot of y'all out there probably have had the same experience. Off to the side right here, we have our widget for our maps, and then we have our music located right here. So basically, whatever platform you're using, Spotify, SoundCloud, Pandora, your music is going to stream right here in this little widget. And we can see as I click it, bam, it's gonna pop up in full screen, whatever you're listening to. And we can work with all of this. We can rewind, fast forward, but let's go ahead and go back to the home screen. If we click the squares located right here in that grid, it'll bring us to all of our apps. So as you know, if you use CarPlay, you can't just download every app. So you can't have like Instagram on here, but anything that's compatible with Apple CarPlay will be located right here. So we can basically scroll back and forth straight to our app drawer from the home screen. So I think that is very nice integration. But overall, guys, the display is very, very high resolution. You got to keep in mind the iDrive units that came in these cars were absolutely not high quality in any way. They were not high resolution. This unit is extremely high resolution. I mean, look how crisp it is. Even on camera, like you can see, you know, how good it looks. I want you guys to picture you're driving and then you glance over and you adjust your music, you adjust your maps, and then you come back. You don't have another huge one of these rounded bulges in the middle of the dashboard or indented, because the iDrive unit you basically have to reach into if you were gonna install a touchscreen. This is right here in your face. Some POV, you're driving, you look over, adjust, back to it. Design-wise, the silver bezel just looks so nice. It looks very good. Very BMW. The trim piece that this touchscreen sits in looks very OEM. And guys, you really got to keep in mind that the iDrive units on these cars are not aesthetically pleasing to a lot of people. So I'm not here to hate on the iDrive unit. I'm just saying that I honestly do prefer this option. If you don't have iDrive, I think it's even more beneficial. I do think it looks great. It looks proper and it looks like a BMW OEM finish, if you get what I mean. So connectivity on the wired portion has never been an issue for me. So yeah, I would definitely have nothing bad to say about that. The one thing I will say is the Bluetooth/Wi-Fi CarPlay can be a little bit finicky, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect my phone. So we'll fire up settings, go over to Bluetooth, and I have it here as my BMW E92. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just click Wi-Fi CarPlay, which really you don't have to do. It should be automatic. And we're just gonna go ahead and connect. And we'll see if it fires up. As you guys can see, prime example, while I'm shooting the video, I didn't do anything crazy, you know. All I did is I connected my phone. You can see right here, I am connected. Connected my phone to the CarPlay unit. But as you guys can see, it just does not want to connect. The only way I found is to take the key out, put the key in, and then try one more time. So again, we're gonna hit connect. We're gonna hit reconnect right here. Yeah, I mean, as you guys can see, I mean, you're seeing firsthand kind of what I always have to do is go to my Bluetooth, hit Wi-Fi CarPlay again, reconnect, wait for it to reconnect, hope it reconnects, and let's see. Yeah, it's just not going to, guys. I mean, the connecting's normal, but it should only take 3 to 4 seconds. In my experience, I mean, it shouldn't take this long. And guys, this isn't to say anything bad about this unit or even the Bluetooth capability itself. When the Bluetooth does work, it is so convenient. When your friend needs to charge their phone, you let them charge. You're connected via Bluetooth, not having cables tied up. It is a very neat feature. Honestly, like, let's be realistic though, 99% of the time you are driving, you're gonna want to charge your phone, so you're gonna plug your phone up either way. So I don't really see the Bluetooth being finicky as a major detractor, but those times when you do, for whatever reason, need to use the Bluetooth and it just doesn't want to connect, it is so annoying. Like, let me tell you, it is very, very annoying, but it's not a huge detractor. Like I said, most people charge their phone anyway. One thing I love is that it came with this iDrive style knob. And this knob controls the CarPlay, and I think it does a great job, you know, what it's intended to do for the majority. So you rotate the knob, and by rotating it, you basically can go through all the different little options. So as you guys can see, we can use it on the home screen as well as the CarPlay screen. So if I want to click USB CarPlay, I'm simply just going to press down, and you can see connected. The back button as well works just like it should. So you can click back, you can see it goes back. Now, the one thing that I don't particularly enjoy is that the rest of these buttons are basically useless. Now, I'm not sure if it's because I only have the software that inhibits CarPlay or if it's just from the factory like this, but none of these buttons work. I mean, if I hit menu, media, radio, all of these buttons don't really do anything. I think they're really just there just to be there and look nice, or maybe with the full software that comes with all the original car options as well, maybe they do work. But at least in my experience, the only thing that works is the knob, the center button, and the back button. Also, if you hold this button that says tel for telephone, if you hold it, it brings up the Siri voice command. And if you hold the menu button here, really just a compilation of these buttons, they all do something a little different, but it's definitely not what they're intended to do. As you can see, using that knob kind of just throws things in disarray. I hold the telephone button, and sometimes it brings up Siri. I hold the media button. They kind of just do, you know, not what they're intended to do. So I don't think that's, again, a huge detractor, because even coming with this knob, I see as a huge plus, and that is a feature in your car you are gaining included, like for free, basically. You're gaining a knob to control the touchscreen that you didn't have before. So I still look at all of this as a huge thumbs up. Even if these buttons can be finicky at times, it still is a feature you didn't have before. So I still think this is a great addition that they include this knob with that screen, and it connects so easily. You literally plug in one connector that traces down to the touchscreen. So overall, you know, I can't discredit this, even though it can be finicky. If you really just use the knob, the middle button and the back button, you'll be golden. It's still a great feature. So now you might be asking, you know, when I'm driving the car, you know, how am I going to interact with this thing? I don't have the time to keep going over, messing with things, checking the knob, doing that, touching, going back down here. I don't have the time for that. Well, it's a good thing that this unit pairs beautifully with the buttons and layout that's already on this car. So as you can see from the factory, BMW is going to have these buttons standard. So the volume up button, volume down button, these work perfectly fine. I will give you an example. I will play an episode of my podcast, which you guys should definitely check out, but can't force you. So episode 35, never compromise your standards, even if, oh, wonder what that's going to talk about. Even if what? Anyways, if I hit the play button. Before we take this Jello shot, I just want to bring up for preface that the girl from the pool, I slept with her. I call her pool girl. Really? Bam. I call her pool girl. But and as we can see, this Jello shot. How do you take this? You
in
just
honor of her.
In hell no, definitely. Or not. I can lower it.
All the great women Izzy has slept with.
Or higher.
Wait a minute.
So now moving on, we have the voice button here. So if you hold this down, it actually is going to activate our Siri or our Google Voice, whatever you have, depending whatever device you're using. But I think that's super neat.
I'm pretty loyal to Apple. It's just how I'm made.
Alrighty then. But yeah, guys, you can see that all these buttons work. And then we have our buttons here that can actually change songs. So let's just go to Spotify and click a song. Don't want to get copyrighted, so let's click a song here. And we can basically see if I click the button here, it's going to change the song. And I can keep doing that. Skip the song, go back, rewind the song. I think that's very neat that these all work. And then we have our source. So if I click the source, what it'll do is switch to the radio. And something that's neat that you can see here is if you actually change the audio source to the radio, like I just did with the button, it's actually going to by default bring up this black screen. It goes to like the original BMW software. And I think that's nice because if you do want to listen to the radio, it still gives you like something very nice to look at. It still looks very OEM. Hit enter and it'll bring you right back in. But yeah, guys, having all of our steering wheel controls work properly as they should, just off the get-go, you don't have to do any crazy wiring. That is a huge thumbs up. It is so simple to raise the volume, switch songs, use Siri. You can literally hold this down. Hey, Siri, play this song. Bam, it'll play right there. So I'm gonna use an example. Hey Siri, play lo-fi music on Spotify.
Lo-fi beats now playing on Spotify.
Look at that. Definitely a huge thumbs up. I love how these controls work as they should. Plug and play. You don't have to do anything crazy to the actual touchscreen itself. I think that is great, especially when you're driving on the highway and you want to quickly play a song, raise the volume, maybe switch the song. And then on top of that, they include this little unit right here to control the whole CarPlay. And it's just a nice centerpiece. It looks nice, guys. I mean, look how modern the interior of this car looks now. So I definitely love the control sector of this. Huge, huge, huge upgrade from what I had before, which was nothing. Something that's really neat is you can go through the settings and customize a lot of the other things. So we can put in always dark mode, automatic. You can keep our maps in always dark mode, change our wallpaper. And I love this because I do have the ambient lights on the floor that change colors. And you know, if I have blue down there, I can hit a blue wallpaper up here. I can color coordinate the car. and do red or the black wallpaper, since I have red and black as my color theme. You know, there's a lot of options. I love having a splash of color in this car that wasn't otherwise there. It just does a lot to make the car look so much more modern. I mean, you know, like you really would never guess that this car is from the year it's from. And having this nice little splash of color is pretty great, guys. And you can do everything here that you can do on regular CarPlay. You can call people using Siri to do that. You can still use Hey Siri, and it'll activate the voice command just as you saw right there. Google Maps, send messages. You can use Apple Podcasts and scroll through different podcasts. There's really a lot you can do, just like a regular CarPlay unit. And I think it's great, guys. I think it makes the car just look so much more modern and just overall enhances the car. To this day, I can't even imagine not having this thing because it's that big of a game changer. And now after all this, you might be saying to yourself that this is the best thing since sliced bread for these E90, E92s, etc. And I would agree with you. And I would say the only painful thing and the only thing that was just not the easiest was the install process. As you guys can see on the channel, I have done a lot of different things to this car. So many things I haven't recorded. You know, it's not too crazy having to cut a hole in your dashboard if you're a confident person, if you're willing. The one thing I'll say, guys, is cutting a hole in your dashboard is a gut-wrenching feeling. And no matter how confident you are in your abilities, it's still a gut-wrenching feeling. And the template that this thing came with was not great. I mean, it came with a sticker. The sticker lines up on the dashboard and you basically cut around it. The one thing is that sticker just wasn't sticky. It kept coming off and I had to keep realigning it, re-dremeling. And when you're cutting a hole in your dashboard, you know, it's a nerve-wracking feeling. I could have maybe gone a little lower to let the seat in place better. But honestly, after 2 to 3 days of installing, I was happy with it as is. And overall, it fits great. It is very sturdy, doesn't rattle. But you know, guys, once it's in, it does look really, really good, especially if you take your time with it. So the install process, I'm not even gonna leave a rating on that just because that is subjective to each their own. But I will say it does look great once it's actually in. And now something I would highly recommend is using a sunshade on this car, just because you're gonna have a huge electronic device literally right smack and dab in the middle of the dashboard. So I would definitely get a sunshade and use that. That way you can really preserve this thing over time and not have to replace it. But overall, performance-wise, it has been great. It's not as fast as, like, let's say an OEM CarPlay unit, but what do you expect, you know? Like, you're not gonna have lightning fast out of something that's aftermarket, that's, you know, not hardwired in and coded into the system, etc., etc. I mean, it's really a plug-and-play system, so you can't expect it to be absolutely lightning zippy. So you can see even when I'm just scrolling, you know, it's not at like 60 frames per second over here, but it's still very nice. Performance-wise, it's good. I don't think it's ever really lagged or frozen on me, besides maybe the Bluetooth connectivity. But really, when it's hardwired in, I've never had it lag or do anything crazy like that. I mean, even like scrolling through the news, you can listen to articles. And performance-wise, I would definitely rate this thing highly because it's never given me any huge issues or anything like that, but it's just not as zippy and like nice and crisp as per se like one that comes stock in like a new car. So you can see again, it's a little bit on the, you know, tiny bit clunky, but still very smooth, very nice. Nothing that looks like cheap or like, you know, it looks like it's worth the money. With the knob, you do have to press a bit harder. A press like that right there, you can see it's not gonna actually activate anything. Doing that's not gonna do anything. You have to like press. Now we can see something fired up. When you throw the car in reverse, it is gonna automatically activate the reverse camera. And through the reverse camera, we can change a few things. So we can basically change these guidelines. We can flip the orientation of the camera. So right is left, left is right, and vice versa. But that really depends on the orientation of your camera. If your camera is on the left side, the right side, is it top facing? Is it bottom facing? But this lets us basically mirror the image accordingly. We can turn off and on different types of guidelines here, which I think is very nice. We can mess with the brightness. We can move these guidelines left or right. That way they're even. And then here, of course, if you have parking sensors equipped, that is where they're gonna populate. And a neat safety feature that is equipped is, let's say I have some music playing. Once I pull the car into reverse and my backup camera activates, the music stops. So as you can see, you hear nothing. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in park. And the reason that the vehicle does that when you put the car in reverse is that way if you're reversing out of a tight space and someone's honking, you can hear them. It's like a safety feature. Otherwise, if your music's blasting while you're reversing the car, that's just dangerous to everybody around you. As much as it bothers me sometimes, it's to keep you safe. So yeah, guys, that is another neat little feature. So right now I'm just gonna send myself a text message. That way you guys can see the notifications pop up there. So bam, send my own self a text message and we'll see it pop up right there. So just like regular CarPlay, all your notifications will come through with any of these supported apps right here. Amber alerts, etc. Those will pop up. But something I do want to show you guys is basically the accuracy of the map. So let's go ahead and just punch in a random address. Yeah, we'll just go out on a little drive and you'll see in real time how this thing performs. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And now you guys get some POV of me driving. That's what y'all really wanted. I need to do more of these actually. It's not laggy, it readjusts itself pretty quickly, really as fast as any other CarPlay unit would. Quickly repopulates itself for traffic. So some traffic just occurred. It's very responsive. I mean, the turns are all accurate. It doesn't tell you like last second. Yeah, that's what y'all really wanted. Y'all wanted these POVs. That's all y'all had to say. That's all y'all had to say right there. Y'all some of those. Well guys, overall, this upgraded touchscreen unit is a huge, huge, huge game changer in the interior of your car. I'm trying not to be biased because my first instinct is buy one. Automatically just buy one. But I'm trying to give you both sides of the coin so your expectations can be met. It is an amazing product that allows you to connect your device to your car and basically gives you that new, 2015, 2016 type of experience in your E90 or E92. I honestly recommend all of you get one. And especially for y'all out there who don't have an iDrive unit, don't have a screen at all, and really want something else, get one of these. I mean, putting it in your dashboard is something that I would say you definitely have to be skilled or at least confident in your own abilities. Otherwise, maybe take it to someone to do. And the only reason I say that is your dashboard, once you mess up, you mess up. And I've replaced a dashboard before, and it's just not a fun process, guys. It really is not. If you cut even a millimeter in either direction too much, it's gonna be noticeable. Overall, guys, this thing is a huge thumbs up, and I highly recommend you all get one. If you have any questions at all, comment down below. I'll leave links down below where you can purchase your own. As always, if you are not subscribed, smash the subscribe button, hit that notification bell to stay in the loop. And yeah, we'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out, guys.